Good morning. Thank you very much for joining us here on Times Now. This is the newspaper show and I'm Hina Gambhir. Let's get started with what's making headlines as far as the Times of India this morning is concerned. And the big story the Times of India today is leading with Eat, Pray, Shop. Delhi steps out into a changed world, and banquet halls and hotels won't open yet though. That's the big story. There's going to be a new experience for people who will be going to malls and various eateries. Only asymptomatic people will be allowed to enter into malls. Restaurants will use only 50% of sitting capacity, disposable or electronic menu. A table has to be sanitized every time a customer leaves. Food may have to be ordered through apps and reservations will be must. So those are going to be the new changes that will be in place from now onwards. Malls, you might have to check real-time food traffic on a mall's app, book time slots to visit due to 50% occupancy rules. That's interesting for malls as well. Changing rooms will not be allowed. Gaming arcades, cinema halls and children's play areas in the malls will also remain shut. Shrines, touching of idols and holy books is banned. Devotees will have to wash hands and feet with soap. Gurdwaras not likely to allow people to sit inside. So that is the big story that the Times of India this morning is leading with. Then Corona says scrapped booze prices down. Liquor in Delhi from now on will be cheaper, with the state government deciding to withdraw the 70% special Corona fee levied a month ago to shore up revenues. However, VAT on liquor will be hiked to 25% from 20% at present. So that's the big story. Then city throws open borders, beds for super speciality. As Delhiites head out, Met officials say mercury is expected to rise and hit 40 degrees Celsius by 11th of June. Then another big story here about the hospitals. Rejections by hospitals continue. Noida woman has a stillborn on the road. 5 hospitals in 2 days denied bed, man dies. These are the two important stories from Noida. A 26-year-old woman allegedly refused admission by the Noida District Hospital in Sector 30, delivered a stillborn on a pavement outside the government health facility on Thursday. This is what Shikha Salaria has reported. And on the other hand, for Vikas Jain, what started out as a simple fever for his brother-in-law, 47-year-old Narendra Jain, in the last week of May turned out to be what he had feared the most. In a now family story playing out virtually every day in the city, Narendra, who had tested positive for novel coronavirus, died on June 3rd after being shuttled between 5 different hospitals for 2 days for the lack of a bed. That's another big story. Rejection by hospitals continuing. Then 10,700 plus cases. Corona count crosses 2.5 lakh. 5 Hizbul terrorists killed in Shopian. 5 Hizbul Mujahideen terrorists, including a top commander, were killed in an anti-terror operation by security forces in South Kashmir, Shopian district on Sunday. This is what the IGP has said. Delhi riots case, there has been an update. 6 have been named in 85-year-old's death. Delhi police filed a charge sheet against 6 people for the death of an 85-year-old woman whose house was set on fire by rioters during the Delhi riots. And China issue will be peacefully settled. The day after Indian and Chinese army commanders met, the External Affairs Ministry on Sunday said both sides have agreed to peacefully resolve the month-long border confrontation. Then Remdesivir awaits regulators' nod. Patients will have to wait for Remdesivir to be available as the drug awaits approval from Drugs Controller General of India amid a rising number of corona deaths and a nod to use it in serious cases. Then census timeline may be reworked is another big story. ASI to open 820 monuments, another important story on the front page. Then banks reassess loans, home buyers in soup. In the season of salary cuts and job losses, builders and people who book flats in their projects have now to deal with another challenge. Flat buyers whose loans were sanctioned by banks have been asked to resubmit their new salary slips before fresh disbursement to prove that they are capable of paying their EMIs. And bankers and officials are against the interest swap that has been given by the government. Then Amit Shah's virtual rally set stage for Bihar campaign, also on the front page. Delhi, UP pay resident doctors most. Interns in Maharashtra among worst paid. And here you can see the comparison. Stipend salary that's being paid in government hospital. Worst paying states are Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra. Best paying states are Jharkhand, Delhi, Bihar and Chhattisgarh. Lastly, mountaineering basics go online, attract many. One of the country's top mountaineering institutes, Nehru Institute of Mountaineering in Uttarkashi, will start offering digital classes next month. So this is about the front page as far as the Times of India this morning is concerned. We are now moving on and let's get you the latest as far as the Navbharat Times is concerned. और यहाँ पर अगर पहली बड़ी खबर की बात करें तो दिल्ली के बारे में है, दूरी के साथ भक्ति में है शक्ति। आज से मंदिर, मस्जिद, गुरुद्वारे खुलेंगे, लेकिन सावधानी बरतनी बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है। शॉपिंग मॉल और रेस्टोरेंट भी गुलजार होंगे पर होटल, बैंक्वेट हॉल नहीं। फिलहाल लॉकडाउन जरूर खुला है लेकिन कोरोना कहीं नहीं गया है, पहले से ज्यादा खतरनाक हो गया है। लोगों को मास्क, सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग की सावधानियां बरतनी होगी, ये चीफ मिनिस्टर अरविंद केजरीवाल का कहना है, जो फ्रंट पेज पर ही खबर है। दिल्ली ने खोली अपनी सीमाएं और दिल्ली के जो बॉर्डर को सील कर दिया गया था वो भी आज से खुल जाएंगी। 10 जून से शराब होगी सस्ती, एक और बड़ी खबर है। जो सेस लगाया था 70% का, वो हटा दिया गया है दिल्ली से। और साथ में दिल्ली के बारे में एक और खबर है, दिल्ली सरकार के अस्पतालों में सिर्फ दिल्ली के लोगों का ही इलाज होगा, ऐसा चीफ मिनिस्टर ने कहा है। हालांकि जो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट के अंडर हॉस्पिटल्स आते हैं उसमें सबका इलाज अलाउड है अभी भी। और यहाँ पर एक और खबर है, 15 अगस्त के बाद खुलेंगे स्कूल। केंद्रीय मानव संसाधन विकास मंत्री रमेश पोखरियाल निशंक ने रविवार को कहा कि अभी हम स्कूल कॉलेजों को खोलने का जोखिम नहीं उठा सकते, लेकिन अगस्त के बाद इन्हें फिर से खोला जाएगा। तो 15 अगस्त के बाद उम्मीद की जा सकती है कि स्कूल खुल जाएंगे। एएसआई के स्मारक जाएं लेकिन ताज नहीं। केंद्र सरकार के संस्कृति मंत्रालय ने एएसआई से संरक्षित सभी 3691 स्मारकों को सोमवार से खोलने की इजाजत दे दी है, लेकिन ताजमहल को अभी खोलने की इजाजत जो है नहीं दी गई है। मथुरा में द्वारकाधीश के दर्शन 10 जून से शुरू होगा राम मंदिर का निर्माण, ये भी एक और बड़ी खबर है। और इसके अलावा एक दिन में मिले 9,971 नए केस, लगातार 5वें दिन एक नया रिकॉर्ड बन गया है इंडिया के कोरोना काउंट को लेके। और 94 साल की उम्र में कोरोना को दे दी मात, ये भी एक बड़ी खबर है। गौतम बुद्ध नगर में 94 साल के जो एक पेशेंट थे उन्होंने कोरोना को मात दे दी है। रविवार को उन्हें डिस्चार्ज कर दिया गया सक्सेसफुली। इसके अलावा बिल न चुकाने पर बुजुर्ग को बांध देने का आरोप, अस्पतालों में कोरोना मरीज भी भगवान भरोसे। 16 दिन पहले कोरोना से मौत, जानकारी मिली अब। और साथ ही एक और खबर आई है, बिना जांच सौंप दिया शव, निकला कोरोना पॉजिटिव। कोरोना मरीज का शव गड्ढे में, वीडियो को वायरल भी कर दिया गया है। और इसके अलावा 1 करोड़ कमाने वाली टीचर अनामिका निकली प्रिया, फर्जी कागजों से कर रही थी जगह जगह पर नौकरी। तो ये आज की खबरें हैं एज फार एज नवभारत टाइम्स इज कंसर्न। लेट्स नाउ मूव ऑन एंड गेट यू द लेटेस्ट एज फार एज द इकोनॉमिक टाइम्स इज कंसर्न। द पिंक पेपर हैज एवरीथिंग यू नीड टू नो टू स्टार्ट योर Monday as far as the world of business and economy is concerned. Then on the front page, FII is back in India. They have infused 23,000 crore in 7 sessions. That's the big story. Revival of foreign fund flow to Indian markets. That's something that Sanam Mirchandani has reported. And Bajaj Finance, SBI, Tata Steel, ONGC and Titan have been the top Sensex gainers in the last 7 days. Now there is a debate on allowing NRI firms to trade. The thorny issue of letting offshore companies owned and controlled by NRIs and PIOs to trade in the stock market has resurfaced. 2019-20 direct tax mop-up is down 5%. The country's gross direct tax collections for 29-20 has fallen almost 5% to 12.33 lakh crore rupees. This is what the tax department has said. Trucks move into fast lane in May as curbs ease. Number of trucks carrying freight doubles to 2.2 to 2.5 million since April. That's another big story. Transport Corporation of India has seen fleet utilization rising to 50 to 70% by the end of June, with more sectors opening up. So at least the trucks are on a path of recovery. Then there is an interview with the President CII, Uday Kotak, who says getting growth back on track is non-negotiable. Need for demand side push, smart moves such as credit guarantee scheme for MSMEs. This is another big story. Then job demand, household coverage under NREGA hit a new high. Person days of work rises 13%. Households targeted up 31% in May from a year ago. Then Congress states can up Manrega job days. That's another story. NS Tomar, Rural Development Minister, says Congress states can raise job days under Manrega if they want. This is what Nidhi Sharma has reported. Hoteliers are baffled by Delhi decision. Hoteliers are baffled by Delhi's move to reopen malls and eateries while keeping the hotels shut. While the MHA has allowed opening of hotels as well along with restaurants and malls, but Delhi has decided otherwise. Then ADIA to invest 5.8 thousand crore in Jio platforms. Abu Dhabi government's largest investment arm, seventh to pick up stake in Reliance arm in 7 weeks. That's another big story. Then Sero survey results expected this week. The findings of the Sero surveillance report, which will show how widely COVID has spread among India's population, will be announced this week. While the worst hit areas indicate infection in clusters, it's not all bad news. That's another story. Then Paytm deepens its microcredit foray. Paytm set to harness increased credit demand through the lockdown to extend its foray into microcredit services as well. And there is rough weather for those boarding Vande Bharat. That's another big story. Passenger complain of high fares, website glitches, demand other carriers be allowed to fly scheduled repatriation flights as well. So that's about the Economic Times front page. Let's now be more city specific, and my colleague Kangana is joining us on the broadcast. Kangana, good morning. So what's making news as far as the Delhi edition this morning is concerned?
Well, good morning to you too, Hina. And one of the biggest news that we are seeing today will be the opening of shopping malls and hotels shopping malls in Delhi. Hotels and banquet halls will not be opening in Delhi, as the Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal had addressed the media yesterday through a webinar. He had made clear that hospitals will be extended to banquet halls and hotels, and that's the reason they're keeping it safe not to open the hotels as of now. But shopping malls will be opening today. Religious places of worship will be opening today. Of course, there are some SOPs that everyone will have to maintain, that has been issued by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. But these SOPs clearly include basic sanitization that will have to be done to everyone that will be entering either a mall or a shopping complex or a religious worship place for that matter. Apart from sanitation, the most important thing is to wear a mask before you enter any of these places. So all these SOPs, these are the basic measures that will be taken by all the people who will be entering these places. But Delhi will be witnessing, after almost 2.5 months, the first day where shopping malls will be open. Obviously, Arvind Kejriwal government has requested the elderly and children specifically not to go into public places as of now. But these relaxations have been given as a fact of matter that everyone needs to learn to live with Corona now. Even though when we have been seeing that Corona positive cases have already been increasing, and we are seeing 1,000+ cases every day in Delhi. But however, Delhi has given these relaxations, and it will be making a big news today.
All right, thank you very much, Kangana, for the moment, for joining us with all of those details. We're now moving on to the Mumbai edition of the Times of India, and today on the in this particular edition, the details about the total cases in the state are mentioned. 85,975. That's the total number of coronavirus cases in Mumbai. In Maharashtra, I beg your pardon, and active cases are 43,591. And it also says Dharavi's COVID doubling rate has fallen to 44 days. It is 23 in the city. A 90-year-old wrestler, steam engine driver, wins battle against COVID-19. So that's a positive news that has been reported. Let's go across to my colleague Arunil joining us on the broadcast. Arunil, good morning. It's also being reported that Mumbai has asked, especially for private offices, to call employees who can come on their own who have private vehicles.
Well, that is right, Hina. In fact, private offices will be functioning at the 10% capacity today in the financial capital of the country. However, the private companies have asked only those employees who have their private vehicles to come to work. This is because the local trains are not working at present. They remain shut down. The best services, that the BST best services, have been made completely operational, and it will be for the first time that the BST bus services will be flying in the Mumbai metropolitan region. So they will be covering the satellite cities of Mumbai as well. This is because of the local trains being shut down. And with respect to the employees are concerned, they also need to give basically a self status of their health, and also tell the employers about whether they had gone to any gathering kind of a thing, or whether they had traveled abroad. And if that is the case, then they won't be allowed to be in the office. So yes, several stringent measures have been taken. Shops will also be open. Private shops will also be open in full capacity in the city of Mumbai. Yesterday we saw a crowd at the Marine Drive as well. Crowd could be seen at the Juhu beach as well. So yes, slowly and steadily, a normal life is crawling back in the city of Mumbai. But as you mentioned, the cases are also rising at an exponential rate. In fact, yesterday the city of Mumbai recorded its highest death count, that is 61 deaths in a day. And now the total number of deaths in the state of Maharashtra is more than 3,000 now. In 3 months, exact 3 months passed, and more than 3,000 deaths being recorded in the state of Maharashtra, as well as more than 85,000 positive cases in Maharashtra at present.
All right. Thank you very much, Arunil, for the moment, for joining us with all of those details. We're now moving on to the Bengaluru edition of the Times of India. And here the big story is part-time farmers use recycled water for plants. Some panel members in favor of FANA's cost proposal. With time on hand, techies take to growing veggies. That's the big story here. Then my colleague Deepak Bopanna is now joining us on the broadcast for more on this. Deepak, good morning. Schools are mulling double shift. That's another important story. But most important is that a panel will be deciding on private hospitals' quote. How will it work? Okay, we'll try and go across to Deepak in just a bit, but this is an important story. A panel will be deciding on private hospitals' quote. An offer from private hospitals to treat COVID-19 patients for families below the poverty line has gained support of a section of a committee formed by the government to take a call on this particular issue. According to the proposal, private hospitals will treat this category for patients at 5,200 rupees to 10,000 rupees per day under the Ayushman Bharat Arogya Karnataka. The committee met on Saturday and discussed the proposal advanced by Private Hospitals and Nursing Homes Association. Deepak Bopanna is back with us. Deepak, give us more details. This looks quite interesting.
Yes, Kerala has done something similar. Karnataka is also looking at it. Also, there have been several speculations about the role of private hospitals. Up until now, it's mainly been the government hospitals in Karnataka that have been taking the load. Now, while the private hospitals, of course, discussions have been going on with a team from the government that has been formed to look into these issues. They've said that between 5,000 and 10,000 could be charged to treat COVID patients from the BPL families. This, of course, varies as per the needs of the patient. If, of course, they have to be in the ICU, the prices would be about 7,000 to 8,000. If they have to be in the ventilator, it would be about 10,000, but still very nominal when you compare to the exorbitant prices that the others would have to pay at the private hospital. So, of course, it's a welcome sign. The meeting, of course, is going to be held today once again. We'll really have to wait and watch whether there will be a consensus and a conclusion to these things that have been discussed.
All right, Deepak, appreciate you joining us with all of those details. Let's now move on and get our viewers the latest as far as the Chennai edition of the Times of India this morning is concerned. And here, it's a very important analysis of Tamil Nadu's COVID count. There are about 31,667 total cases in Tamil Nadu. Active cases are 14,396, 16,999, which is close to 17,000. That is the number of patients who have recovered as well from coronavirus. 269 meanwhile have lost their lives as well. Then it is Chennai, which is the hotspot in Tamil Nadu, with over 10,982 particular cases coming only from the capital city Chennai. Then it is Chengalpet, Tiruvallur and other cities as well, which are recording maximum number of cases. Shilpa, my colleague, is joining us on the broadcast. Shilpa, good morning. On a daily basis, a sharp rise in number of coronavirus cases in Tamil Nadu, most coming from Chennai. Now, the Chief Minister has put the onus on community to stop COVID spread.
Well, that's it, Hina. In fact, the lack of community participation is a big challenge for the Tamil Nadu government, despite repeated requests and warnings from the authorities. Even now, we see people not maintaining social distancing, not wearing a mask when they go to public places. So that is the reason why the Chief Minister is stressing on the fact that at a time when Tamil Nadu is recording a high surge in number of COVID-19 cases, the people, the community should also participate participate and should also act responsibly. Now, yesterday alone, Tamil Nadu recorded more than 1,500 cases of coronavirus. 1,515 cases were recorded just yesterday, and out of which around 1,155 were from Chennai. These cases were from Chennai. So clearly, it is not showing any signs of going down. For the last few days, Tamil Nadu has been recording more than 1,000 cases, and that, of course, is a big cause of concern for the authorities. And that is the reason why repeated requests are being made by the health experts, by the state government, asking people to also be responsible in this scenario, because it's not government that will do or take measures. Also, people who
All right. Thank you very much, Shilpa, for the moment, for joining us with all of those details. We're now moving on, and a couple of more interesting stories in Times of India today. Javed Akhtar, first Indian to get Dawkins Award. That's here that you can find. Then Hardeep Puri, the Union Civil Aviation Minister, has said resuming international flights will depend on other nations. And high-duty crude rebound has led to a fuel price hike that has now taken place. And as far as the news from around the world is concerned, then here it is about coronavirus count. Global COVID-19 toll tops 4 lakh. NYC set to reopen from today. China defends its coronavirus response in the new report. That's another big story here. To develop a cheaper vaccine, a British lab will sidestep drug industry. Pakistan's cases have crossed the 1 lakh mark. China records first local infection in just 2 weeks. And Bangladesh has seen record one-day jump in the number of deaths. Apart from this, intense rallies for racial justice in America amid cracks in GOP. Top Republicans, including ex-President Bush, hint they are ready to dump Trump. That's another big story. And Zuckerberg-funded scientists rein in hate on Facebook. That's also important. And lastly, man trapped in a well for 6 days is rescued in Bali. So that's about the news from around the world. Let's now get you the latest from the world of sports. My colleague Karishma is now joining us in the broadcast. More on this. Karishma, good morning. IOA infighting has reached the IOC. Give us more details.
Well, yes, good morning, Hina. IOA and the IOC infighting has, in fact, reached the International Olympic Committee, where the IOA Vice President Sudhanshu Mittal has filed a complaint against the IOA President Narendra Batra, saying that he cannot occupy a position, he cannot be a president of the Federation of International Hockey and the IOA President as well. So this matter has now reached the International Olympic Committee, with Sudhanshu Mittal's complaint addressed to Thomas Bach. In fact, Narendra Batra issued an official statement yesterday saying that he is in home quarantine until the 20th of June, and he is only going to respond to Sudhanshu Mittal once he resumes office towards end of June. But this IOA infighting is now getting uglier by the day, Hina.
All right, Karishma, thank you very much for the moment, for joining us with all of those details. We're now moving on to the Delhi Times, and here it is about unlocking diaries, isolation rooms, protective gear, vending machines, sanitization. So as Unlock 2.0 begins from today, hotels, malls, restaurants in different parts of the country are set to reopen. Here's an analysis of how new protocols will be in place. Screens are being installed wherever necessary. Cars will also be sanitized at malls. And here are some rules that you need to ensure when you reach a mall. Unlock 1.0, restaurants unsure about reopening in some places. Rowling slammed for tweets on trans people. That's another story. And here, will the doting Dada Dadi and Nana Nani go missing from the family dramas on TV? Because according to the new rule, the actors above the age of 65 will not be allowed on the set of TV shows owing to health concerns. So those are the stories on Delhi Times page. With this, it's a wrap. Thank you very much for staying with us here on the Newspaper Show.